Hi, I'm Nic Natarella with AdWise Creative. So, what's the easiest way to start a podcast? We're going to take you right through that, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a great idea on where you want to go with your business podcast, how to set it up, and how to start cranking out episodes immediately. So let's get started. Several key points we're going to cover today. First and foremost, what is the topic of your podcast? I'll show you 4 different ways to generate topics that you can talk about. What gear and software will you need to record and edit your podcast? And finally, where to upload your podcast so everybody can listen. All right, here we go. Let's dive in. So, being a business podcast, you're going to start with the topic you know, your business. So let's get that upfront and ready to go. Now, the most critical element about this is being able to take these topics and turn them around to the benefit of your customer, the benefit of your client. It would be too easy to just sit there and talk about your business and end up turning these podcast episodes into 10, 15, 20, 30-minute advertisements. And that's not what we're talking about here. We're going to give it a different twist because you're going to show your potential customers and clients the benefits of learning about, well, through the learning, they're going to understand the benefits of what it is to be working with you, what it is to be purchasing from you, what it is to be coached by you. What do you do for a living? What are you going to do for them? That's what we're going to talk about, and talk about from their perspective, not from you as a coach, but from their perspective, because they're the ones looking for the transformation in their life. So you want to be client serving. You want to be client centered. The very famous motivational speaker Zig Ziglar once said, if you help enough people get what they want, you will get what you want. And that's what I can't stress enough. The main focus is what they want. Now, coincidentally, you're just the person to help them get that done. That's how this works. Once you know what they're looking for, you can supply, support, and provide that need of whatever it is, because that's your business. That's what you do, your products, your services. That's what they're looking for that change in their life. So the first thing you want to do, especially when you're going at something like this cold, you don't have somebody right in front of you, but who you have had in front of you, that's a great place to start. What are the typical questions they ask you? Chances are, across the board, if you wrote down every question that a client or customer asked you, about 80% of them would be repeats across the board. You'll have a slight little dusting of some variation, probably indicative of their personal experiences or a certain goal that they want to have in mind to achieve. But for the most part, working with you, they're asking about 80% of the same questions over and over and over again. That is a great place to start because you know people are asking those questions. Why is this falling through the cracks? Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you just answer that and make sure it doesn't fall through the cracks and you be their hero? So if you start there, it's a very easy place to launch from. Now, there's an SEO research technique that you can use to find these questions that people are asking. It's called, a friend of mine, Nate Woodbury, nicknamed it the Leaf Strategy. Basically, your knowledge, your entire subject knowledge would be the trunk of the tree. So you know about, say, personal coaching. So personal coaching would be the trunk. Now, personal coaching has branches. One would be workout routines. One would be nutrition. One might even be specifically carbs or something along those lines. You've got various branches as well. But at the end of those branches are specific questions that they asked about every single one of those topics, like how many reps are best for a sit-up exercises? How many carbs should I eat in a balanced diet? They're asking these very specific leaves way out at the end of the branches. If you collect enough of these leaves and shoot videos answering those specific questions, notice all those leaves bring you into branches, which brings it down into the giant trunk of your information and you as a personal coach. And again, those are now specific questions that people have asked. Those are verbatim. Do not change the words. I can't stress you enough. Do not change the words. Those are the actual titles of your episodes. So use your favorite SEO program, whether it be SEMrush or Ubersuggest or Google. You just start typing a question into Google and it'll give you a whole bunch of suggestions. All those different methods to get you the specific questions that people are asking. Then you know you're on the right track. Another website you can use is Ask the Public. It's got a very interesting graphical representation of how to give you the SEO results you're looking for. It also has a questions page. You can specifically scroll to the questions page in Ask the Public. And I will tell you that Ask the Public, about a year and a half ago, I think it was 2022, was bought out by Ubersuggest and Neil Patel's group. Very interesting website, Ask the Public. You get some really good twists. It's still a little bit lacking in some of the information, but you can at least get a feeling for the questions that people are asking. And those, again, become your specific titles to your episodes. And whatever questions you do come up with and you decide to address in your wheelhouse, answer them thoroughly and specifically. And I mean, are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? Hold on to the seat, because I'm going to say this big time and it's going to blow you away. Even your secret sauce. Feel free to give away the secret sauce. There's so many ways to sniff out an imposter, and when you're trying to withhold information or trying to play your cards close to the vest, your clients and your customers are going to smell that a mile away. You want to be the one who is known to give more information than is necessary. Give them the whole thing, because that's going to build nothing but trust, likability, and they're going to get to know you better. And know, like, and trust are the roots of any business relationship, right? So, starting a business podcast, who else have you told about this? Have you got a partner? Is there somebody that you're going to maybe co-host it with or something like that? Tell them, tag them down below in the comments, make sure they see this episode, and tell me, where are you along your podcast journey? All right? What are you going to do? What have you got in front of you? Let's all discuss this, and maybe we can help each other out. So the next step then would be to get your equipment together. Now, what are you going to do? What style of podcast are you going to do? Is it going to be a solo? Heck, you could probably achieve that just by speaking into your smartphone. If you're going to do, say, an interview, or at least an in-person interview, or maybe a co-host type of situation, you're going to need a couple microphones, maybe some kind of an interface so it'll take your microphone signal into your computer. Whatever the case may be, you put your equipment together, get it all plugged in, and then you're ready to start doing your podcast episodes. Go back to your SEO list and start talking. If you do need to do an interview, a lot of people are doing interviews on Zoom. That's an okay way to do it. There is some bandwidth limitations to that, but you can still come up with a pretty good interview on Zoom. There are some other services, some podcast hosts that have recording technique and method already built into your subscription. So check them out. If that's something that you're going to be doing, a lot of live interviews, maybe even 2 or 3 people, maybe even a round robin type of panel discussion. You might want to look into some of those folks that have that recording capability, that remote recording capability already built into the hosting, if that's something you're going to use on a regular basis. And then when it comes down to editing, very easy. There are some techniques that you can use constantly over and over and over again. And then there's a program that I would highly recommend, especially because it's free to get you started, and that would be Audacity. Audacity is a very common audio program. A lot of people use it. Half of my friends that I talk to on a regular basis that write, produce radio commercials and audio books and do voiceover work, they probably have Audacity installed on their computer, at least as a backup, and they're all very proficient in it. There are several other programs that people pay for. You can download any one of those, test them out for a quick 1 week or 2 week subscription trial. Very easy to get familiar with a lot of these podcast programs. Some of these programs can run you there is a monthly fee for some of them, anywhere between $10 and $50 a month, depending on how many bells and whistles you want. Again, get familiar with them. Which ones do you think you're going to use? If it's just going to be you on a solo cast, you really don't need that remote recording capability, right? So don't pay for that. Find another one that doesn't have that, probably at a lower price. So what about getting it on Spotify? What about getting it on Apple Podcasts? That is actually the job of your podcast host. Whoever you sign up with is then going to make those links to the outside podcast world where people are listening and downloading from. Now, so whoever you decide to go with, it's their job to connect to all the places where people listen. Now, you pick and choose which ones you want. There's sometimes, like for Spotify and Apple, you're going to need an account at the other end. They just need to know when your host sends them something, where is it going? That's all. So some of those you do need the other end set up. Others, it will just propagate from the information that you send them. Works a couple different ways depending on where you are. So just keep that in mind. But it's your host that makes the connection to the outside world for you. That's how the podcast world operates. So go hit the SEO trail. Let's find out what questions people are asking. and then hit that little red button and start recording. Start answering them, and you'll be up and running before you know it. Now, along those lines, I've got a free gift for you if you've listened this long. It's called Engaging Your Audience. The 3 crucial steps to skyrocket your podcast success. The 3 secrets to skyrocket your podcast success. I wrote it and I'm not even sure what the title is. But your free download is available right now. Click the link down below and you'll get it immediately in your inbox. It's not exactly easy mind shift to make. When I was in radio, it took me 6 months to finally get it as a part of my being. And that was being on the air for like 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. When you do this just a little bit, it might take a little longer, but the shift it makes in your interaction with your audience is really astounding once you get them on board with what you're talking about. So get your copy of the download right now. Just click below and it'll be sent to your inbox. I'm Nic Natarella. Thank you for watching.